This is Andy Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by undisputed super lightweight champion Chantelle Cameron over Zoom. Chantelle, before we get into the obvious, how are you?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm all good. Yeah, it's obviously been an interesting 24 hours or so for yourself. I don't imagine you would have been expecting to see Katie Taylor calling for a fight with you. So it's just straight into it. What was your initial reaction to seeing, I imagine, your phone blow up to see Katie Taylor saying that she wants to face you on May 20th now that Amanda Serrano is not able to fight?
I was shocked. Yeah, I just minded my own business, having a bath, and next thing, all these WhatsApps come through, and I was like, "What's this?" And then clicked on it, and I thought, "Oh, she's been hacked." Thinking like someone's like got her phone and hacked her, and because she doesn't shout anyone out, she doesn't need to. Like what she's done for women's boxing sport, like Katie doesn't need to shout people out or like even speak really. Like she just goes about and does what she's got to do and goes quiet, which is what a lot of people respect her for. So when I seen it, I was like, nah, this can't be real. And then I thought, do you know what? Fucking hell, the boxing gods are looking down because who would have expected that to happen? And like you say, it's coming from Katie, so there's no excuses can be made now. Like Katie wants to fight, I want to fight. Or everybody kind of have agreed to the money that's been offered. So there's literally no excuse whatsoever.
So, but you've just said you've pretty much agreed to what was offered in terms of terms. So is that how far along talks have already like
So
progressed?
talks had started for me to box Katie in September, and I agreed to what had been offered and stuff. I was like, yeah, like I'd be stupid. Whatever they're gonna offer, like fight with Katie, I'd be mad to even fucking like argue over this and that. So I was like, yes, like I agreed to everything. And then I found out last Friday before it was announced about Katie and Savannah may be delayed. And I said to my manager saying, well, just I'll fight May 20th. Like, no bother. Like I'll jump in. I'm in camp anyway, so perfect, really. And then it was kind of like, no, you got to wait till September. So I was back on April the 1st. So it was kind of like I'm due to box April the 1st, but it's been up and down anyway. Like I haven't even got. I've not signed a contract to fight anyone. I've got an opponent that is a possibility, but I've not signed a thing. It's not been announced. So scrap April the 1st and just go straight in and fight Katie Taylor. It can't get bigger than that. It's the biggest fight that I'll ever get and never have. So for me, it's like it's no brainer. Same promotion, both want the fight, both undisputed, both undefeated. No brainer.
Chantal, why do you think initially then there was more of an insistence to hold off until September for you to face Katie?
I think because probably Amanda Serrano and Kate Taylor, it's a bigger profile fight, ain't it? Because the first fight was unbelievable, and Serrano is a bigger name than me. So, and that side of things, you see why it was like, I'll go after Serrano. But obviously, for me, it was what if Serrano wins? It's a big possibility because the first fight was so close, and Amanda Serrano, she's a great boxer as well. So I was thinking, oh great, I'll wait till September and probably won't happen because if Katie does get beat, then where's that gonna leave me in Katie's fight? So for me, it's just like gotta strike it while the iron's hot because if Katie wants it, I want it. Like I just got to jump on it now and put the pressure on as well to make it happen. And let's be real, Katie deserves to box in Ireland. Like what she's done for boxing, especially women's boxing, the show she's been on and generated, like it'd be wrong not to give her a home show. And if that means me jumping in, then happy to take that.
Just one final thing on that, what would have been a potential September or may still be, depending on how things progress. Obviously, we know that she wants to fight at Croke Park. This fight in May is scheduled for the Free Arena, which is obviously a smaller venue. If you were to face Katie in September, were you the one who was lined up to fight her at Croke Park then?
No, it was kind of up in the air. It was either going to be the Free Arena or Croke Park. Nothing was determined. It was just there was just talks. It was all talks. But like boxing, talks don't mean nothing until it's signed on the paper. Then it didn't mean nothing to me really. It was just kind of like, well, we're a step further now because I've never had an offer on the table and I've never had a call about a potential Katie fight. But I think now, like with Katie putting that out there, there's no excuse not to fight May the 20th. She, like she said on her Instagram, the arena's booked, everything's good to go. I'm happy to jump in. I've already said that I'll take what they're offering me. So there's no excuse. And if there is an excuse, then I'll be shocked.
Obviously, you said earlier on that you found out around about a week earlier, last Friday, that Amanda might be pulling out. So since then, and how things have progressed, where do things currently stand?
But my manager's literally just messaged me when I'm on this interview, so I actually don't know until I open up that message.
That's
But
fine. Chantelle, please feel free to open that message and then come back to me.
me and Jamie, we've said like we said before, yes, it even happened, like we'll jump in. April the 1st around the corner anyway, and it's been mentally like an up and down camp because 1 minute will come in, then it's going, then there's no opponent. There was nightmares getting me an opponent, just everything. So I've had no interest in April the 1st anyway, and everybody knows I've been wanting to fight Katie for my whole career. Everyone wants to fight Katie, and for me, the better my opponent, the better my performance. And I'm not going to be trying to protect my belts and not fighting the best. I'd rather fight the best and make my own history. If I don't fight Katie, it'll be my biggest regret in my boxing career. Whereas if I fight her, at least I know like I've challenged the best, and that there's no one better than Katie. So I have to make sure that if I want to be #1 boxer, you got to beat the best.
Chantelle, alongside myself and probably many others, you've been asked about the Katie Taylor fight for some time, and you've certainly, with me, always suggested you'd never seen it being one which would maybe come to fruition. Now, obviously, you see the call out, and it seems like it could well happen. How much of a surprise is it for you to reach this point where you may well get this fight now?
I just hope Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, Design give us the chance because Katie wants it, I want it. It's down to them. It's nothing to do with us. Like we're the fighters, we're the one that's going to prepare. We're the ones that are going to punch each other in the head and like beat each other up. So that's our job. That's our job. What we should do. So we're both under the same promotion, and it's an easy fight to make. Like I said, this fight can be signed, sealed, and delivered in 24 hours. That's how easy it is. It's the easiest fight they can make, and it's a fight that everybody's interested in.
One thing which is obviously interesting to know as well, this isn't like you'd be brought in on short notice. You'd have what, a solid just under or around about 3 months until May 20th, but you've actually already been in camp yourself anyway,
Yeah,
so it would give you no reason not to produce the best version of yourself come May 20th.
100%. I think anyone who faces Katie is going to be bringing the very best of them. But I think me with a long camp, knowing that I'm facing Katie, I think I'll be a completely different animal. I know that I'd have to be like, I'm going into her backyard, Katie Taylor, like the biggest name in boxing, men, women. So I'd have to make sure that I was a completely different animal and put on the best I could put on. So yeah, I'd be training like a monster to make sure that I delivered.
The most recent version of Katie Taylor we saw in the ring towards the back end of last year, Chantelle. Some people started to suggest that maybe she's slowing down slightly. From what you've seen, if you do get this over the line, you cross paths, you share the ring. How do you approach this fight, and how do you see her kind of coming into it? Do you agree that she's slowing down?
I think I don't really know. I didn't actually watch her last fight. If I'm honest, I could say that I watched it, but I didn't. I was in my own camp, and I was more interested in focusing on myself, not watching. I don't really watch boxing when I'm in camp anyway because I try to switch off a bit, unless it's like a fight that I'm really intrigued in. But I weren't really that intrigued in the fight. Like no disrespect, but I was actually watching Netflix at the time. But like a Serrano fight and the fights that I have watched where it's been like a bit of a buzz. I think because she was boxing at Wembley in mandatory, weren't she? Yeah, so I remember I think I was into a TV series. I didn't actually watch, but I think she's had some tough fights. I think that everyone's seen the Delphine fight, and think that was a really tough fight for her. Amanda Serrano fight, again, that was a tough fight. And I definitely think I've got the ingredients to be her.
Despite being an undisputed champion yourself, Chantelle, obviously you're going into a backyard, as you said earlier on. Do you have any kind of concerns or worries on that front? Again, we're speaking like so far ahead until it all gets signed off, but you would be going into the lion's den, as it were.
Not really any concerns. I think it's boxing, ain't it? I know what I'll be up against. I know that I'll be going into Ireland. Everyone's going to be probably booing me and whatever. But at the end of the day, as soon as that bell goes, it's just me and Katie. So I think obviously it'll be out of my comfort zone, but at the same time, I'm a good fighter, and when the bell goes, it's tunnel vision, so it'll be irrelevant to me.
Just away from Katie, one other name I wanted to get your thoughts on is that of Alycia Baumgardner. Now, obviously, we saw her become undisputed champion in New York a few weeks back, and she said that she'd be happy to face anybody from her weight class going all the way up to 140. Is that something you'd ever entertain? I know you're fully focused on hopefully getting this Katie Taylor fight over the line, but away from Katie, would you engage in a potential fight with Alycia Baumgardner?
Definitely, and same again with Mikaela Mayer. There was talks about me and Mikaela Mayer. Again, like they're the fights that I want. They're big fights, champion versus champion. Mikaela Mayer's been around the amateurs. She's been world champion. She had that fight with Alycia Baumgardner, which I think could have gone either way. So yeah, their fights I'm really interested too. But I think the fact that Katie Taylor is saying she wants to fight me, I think for once I can actually be like kind of fuck everyone else. I want Katie Taylor because I've waited a long time and I've waited a long enough time for it, and I feel like I've done everything asked of me. There's always been, if you do this, Chantelle, you get Katie. If you do that, Chantelle, you get Katie. And it kind of, I was doing everything, but nothing was coming off, and I was never having them talks. But now that the talks are being having, then I'm like, I'm not interested in anyone else now but Katie, and I think I deserve it.
How close do you feel you are, Chantelle, to getting that fight?
This close. Just need the teams to sign up. Like I said, it's easy to make. It's very easy to make. So if it ain't made, then yeah, there'll be a bit of a joke.
I wouldn't want to be in
But it's
that room if
boxing.
I
It is
wouldn't want to be
boxing.
in that room if it isn't signed, sealed, and delivered. Knowing that, man. Just moving away from yourself, obviously, just touch on Jack Catterall, your campmate. We was getting ready to see the Josh Taylor rematch. That is no longer the plan. I just want you to get your thoughts on seeing the fallout from that.
Got it for Jack. Obviously, I feel like must be one of the most unluckiest boxers, and he's always in the gym. He's always training. Like, he's always ready to go. But think maybe something the silver lining of it is he hopefully will get his world title shot regardless, and like bloody hell, he deserves it. So if it doesn't happen, then that's that'll be such a shame. But it surely next he'll get his world title shot. But I think everyone's seen how good Jack is now and what he can do. So just the sooner he's back in the ring, the better. And just hope for his sake that it's a world title shot, because no one deserves it more.
As I can see, you don't want to mention the name of that potential world title opponent. Obviously, the Regis Prograis fight is the one which is being mentioned for
Yeah.
Jack at the minute. If that one does get over the line, just talk me through that fight, your perspective. You know, how does Jack have to approach it to potentially beat Regis?
Thing is with Jack, is very professional and he'll do everything he's got to do. And look at our team, Jamie and Nigel, they get the tactics spot on. And the thing, Jack's just got to be Jack, and he's a nightmare to fight because he's just so slick and such a good boxing IQ. So I think all he's got to do is approach it like every other fight. Listen to Jamie and Nigel, listen to the tactics, and I think he'll frustrate the life out of him, and he'll get the win.
And Chantal, just one big fight which was announced last week. Tank and Ryan Garcia. Again, your thoughts, please. It's got everybody talking in the boxing world and the casual world as well.
Great fight. I'm a massive Tank fan, so I'm gonna go for a Tank win. I think I love him. He's one of my favourite boxers. But what a fight that is! And obviously the size is a bit of an advantage, but yeah, just fangirling over Tank. Can't see him being beat.
All right, Chantelle, I'm gonna leave a final one from yourself. Can I get a message to Katie Taylor, to her team, to Eddie, to try and get this fight signed for yourself?
24 hours, I'm ready to sign. Literally, there's no excuses. I want the fight. Katie wants to fight. Just make it happen.
Very perfectly put there, and I will leave you now to enjoy the rest of your day because I know you've got a busy one ahead, and I'm sure your phone's just blowing up whilst we're doing this interview, and you've got to reply to your manager too. So thank you for speaking to me in ID Boxing.
Cheers, Andy. Have a good day.